Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. What we're going to be talking about in this video is just a little bit of the design process of coming up with different, logos or patch designs or whatever you're going to use for your laser design. What we're going to be doing today is going to be like an example of a variant of my Parish Made logo. An example would be this hat patch right here. I'm eventually going to be putting this onto some veg tan leather. I think it's like 6 to 8 ounce, 3 millimeter, something like that. That'll be in a separate follow-up video. This video is just going to be about the actual design. So let's jump in. Okay, so obviously there's several ways for you to do different designs. You can just make them straight up with some text, with some fonts that you find. You can use some AI tools like Midjourney or ChatGPT, or you can just start playing around with shapes. This is all assuming you're not a professional graphic design artist. I am not. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk you through my process on ChatGPT's new image creation. And they used to use Dolly. It was okay. It was fine for like, certain logos and things like that, but they all kind of had the same sort of style to them, more or less. Now it's gotten a lot better. It's a lot better about lettering. It's not perfect. So what I'm going to be starting with today is something that I have not ever done before. So we're going to kind of start from scratch. And then I'll also give it kind of a halfway mocked up design and just tell it to improve on that. And we'll kind of see what it comes up with both ways. Probably be a little bit of tweaking involved, a little bit of patience. Sometimes it nails it on the first time, most times not. So let's get into it and I'll kind of show you what I do. Now, mind you, I'm not like a professional prompt engineer by any stretch of the imagination, but we're just going to talk to it like a normal person and see what it comes up with. We're going to try to go with kind of a retro style. And I like oil and gas, so we're going to go oil and gas advertising. And we want it to be kind of in sort of a badge sort of configuration. That's pretty basic. You can get really deep with this, but I'm just trying to show you what just turning it loose and seeing what it needs. Now, obviously, it's starting to tell me how to. I don't really want it to do that, but I guess it's going to ask for some different elements if I want to do that. I'm just going to say nothing too specific. Go ahead and generate what you think and just see what it comes up with. And this can take a little bit. It depends how complex it is and how much it has to think about it. If you're editing some other image and what have you, and the server load, so depending on the time of day. So I'll speed this up so we don't have to watch all this. Okay, so that's what it came up with. I mean, I said something about oil and gas, so for whatever reason it put a black drop and a lightning bolt there. So now you could do this a couple different ways. Overall, I just want to see what else it can do. You could click on this and, click certain elements and say, get rid of this or whatever. I'm not going to do that in this particular case. I'm just going to see what else it can come up with. Okay, well, that's actually kind of cool. We'll go with that. Also, I'm going to try something else to where I am going to give it kind of just a little mock-up that I did. It's not very good. And just tell it to work off of the image that I'm giving it and just to see what it comes up with. That way, if you're trying to come up with something and you're just kind of like sketching something out or throwing some elements together and you're not really sure where it's going, you can kind of just do that and then give it to it and just say, hey, work on this for me. All right, so just telling it to generate another image, use this photo, make it your own version with a better composition because I didn't really lay it out the best. You can word this all kinds of different ways and it'll still do the same thing more or less. Or you could word it exactly the same way, give it the same picture, do it again, and it's going to give you a completely different result. So you really just kind of have to be patient and play with it, but it gets good results eventually. Okay, so that's pretty good. I mean, that's what I started with, and that's what it did. So it looks a little more professional. Downside is it kind of zoomed in a little too much, and it cut off the edges over here. So I'm not really going to run with this one. We're just going to do this original one for right now. But if you wanted to use this one, you could either just take the actual text there and put it back into the shape that I already had, or you could just tell it, hey, I really like that, do it again, but zoom out just a little bit. And if you tell it to zoom out, then you'll usually catch all the little edges right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy here and we're going to save it to our desktop. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Inkscape. Inkscape is a free vector editing software. It's like Adobe Illustrator, but less powerful. But it is free. So, all right. So we're going to go find our logo. Well, I don't want to do that. All right. So we're going to go to Path, Trace Bitmap. In this particular case, I just want it one layer, black and white. If you wanted it in multiples, I would suggest you come over to multicolor, go to color, and then as you kind of work your way through your colors, then you'll get more or less colors, which will translate to different layers. So it'll just kind of automatically throw red in a layer and this on a layer. So we just want a single scan. See what that look like. Yeah, that's cool. If you really want to, you can come in here and kind of, do away with some of these little artifacts, or you could turn the actual threshold down a little bit, and it may filter some of those out. But we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, so we got it cleaned up. We're gonna select it and go to Edit, resize to page selection, edit, resize page to selection. All right, and once we've got that, we're gonna save as. We'll just call it Parish Made Retro Logo. All right. Okay, and now we're gonna come over here to XCS, xTool Creative Space. And we're going to import. And there we have it. All right. So that's pretty much from just concept to putting it in the design software here. I'll do a follow-up video after this one with my actual engraved settings, how we do the outline for the cut, and what I'm doing on this veg tan leather. It's a good bit thicker than your normal leatherette, so kind of have to get through it a little bit, and then we'll have to work the edges and clean it up really good. You'll see it'll turn out nice, but there's a few extra steps that don't really come with actual leatherette, and you have a few options on how you want to finish it too. So we'll go through all that in the next video. Thanks for joining me on this one. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. If you see anything that I could have done better or you want to see in the next video, just leave it in the comments. Thanks, guys.